When it comes to action movies, the biggest releases in recent memory are mostly from existing IPs, remakes, or sequels. That makes it so difficult to find the best films in the action genre that are completely original. That said, there are many that are great and deserve more attention. That said, when you do look a little closer, you can find the original action movies that stand out. Some are simply fun, over-the-top romps, some have started franchises, and some are among the most epic action films you'll ever find. It's a treat to find fantastic original action movies in this day and age. Novocaine, 2025. The past few years have actually been really good for original action movies, including ones that flew under the radar like Novocaine. The film was just a moderate box office success at best, yet it used its creative and clever premise to earn strong reviews. Novocaine centers on a bank employee with the inability to feel pain who embarks on a dangerous adventure to save the woman he likes when she's taken hostage by bank robbers. There are a handful of twists to that story that keep you interested from start to finish. The action is a highlight as well, with the filmmakers using the protagonist's inability to feel pain to craft some fun action sequences, including him reaching into a fryer for a gun and using his own broken bones as a weapon. Jack Quaid and Amber Midthunder are both great in the main roles too. Gunpowder Milkshake, 2021. Gunpowder Milkshake is another entry in a long line of movies starring badass female assassins. This time around, it's Karen Gillan stepping into the lead role as Sam, an assassin who protects a young girl after she is tasked with killing the girl's father. That sets the stage for a movie filled with as much heart as it has action. Gillan is joined by a stellar cast including Michelle Yeoh, Angela Bassett, Carla Gugino, and Lena Headey, who plays her mother, just to name a few. Each scene in Gunpowder Milkshake is vibrant and has a ton of life to it. The gunfights are fun, but the true highlight comes when the film gets creative. Sam has her arms numbed and finds a way to take down several henchmen in one of the most must-see action scenes in recent memory. Love and Monsters, 2020. One of the many movies that was unjustly overlooked during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic was Love and Monsters. Instead of a wide theatrical release, the film received a limited run and a video-on-demand release, meaning a lot of people haven't seen it. Those who have watched Love and Monsters can attest to just how much fun the film is. Set in a post-apocalyptic world after monsters invade the planet, the film follows Dawson as he leaves his underground society to go on a harrowing quest to reunite with his girlfriend. Dylan O'Brien plays the protagonist, and as shown in the Maze Runner series, he can lead an action film. There's a fair amount of heart, a strong cast, and some wild action scenes without ever taking itself too seriously. Love and Monsters was up for Best Visual Effects at the Oscars and holds a 94% Rotten Tomatoes rating. Upgrade, 2018. More often than not, action movies tend to find ways to bleed into other genres, which is what Upgrade from 2018 does. The film also includes elements of horror and sci-fi, yet there's no denying that action is at the forefront of this high-octane project. Upgrade centers on a technophobe who is left paralyzed after getting mugged, yet is then implanted with a chip that lets him control his body and upgrades his abilities tenfold. That leads him on a revenge barrage that is captivating to watch. Upgrade benefits from some really well-done action scenes as the protagonist brutally takes out the people in his way. The way the movie manages to weave its well-told story in with these impressive set pieces is what makes Upgrade such a hidden gem of sorts from the past decade. Rebel Ridge, 2024. One movie that took the streaming world by storm last year was Rebel Ridge. This original action movie became a global sensation on Netflix and did so by setting things up with a simple premise and letting the action do the talking. Directed by Jeremy Saulnier, Rebel Ridge follows a former Marine who has the money to bail his cousin out of jail stolen from him by corrupt police officers. He then uses the skills he's honed over his years of training to get it back and take down those officers. As a close-quarters combat expert, Terry Aaron Pierre is featured in some fantastic action sequences involving hand-to-hand combat. Add in the great cast and intense storyline and this was a winner. Rebel Ridge was a hit with critics, winning both the Critics' Choice and Emmy Awards for Best Television Movie. Monkey Man, 2024, original SR image by Yaelin Chacon. On the opposite end of the spectrum for 2024 action films is Monkey Man. This wasn't some big streaming hit and was actually mostly overlooked during its theatrical run, only bringing in around $35 million. That said, it's as good an action movie as you'll find. Monkey Man marks the directorial debut for the immensely talented Dev Patel, who also stars as Kid. The premise is tried and true, as Kid is an underground fighter who seeks vengeance against the corrupt leaders who played a part in his mother's death. While reviews for Monkey Man might not be as sparkling as some other similar films, this stands out because of the sheer level of action in it. The fight scenes hit hard and you completely buy into them, boosted by the quality of shots Patel used for many of them. It's just what you want from an action flick. Nobody, 2021. It's not often anymore that an original action movie sparks a sequel and franchise. Outside of John Wick becoming a massive success, it's hard to think of one, yet Nobody is on its way to doing just that, despite featuring such a similar premise. Nobody focuses on a man who returns to his life as an assassin when his family becomes the target of a crime lord. The idea of a mild-mannered dad kicking ass and taking names at every turn is enough to bring the audience in. However, it's the action scenes of Nobody that made it such a hit. The film holds nothing back in terms of violence, with the hero taking as much of a beating as he gives out. Those action bits received the highest praise of the film alongside Bob Odenkirk's performance. It led to Nobody 2, which was also well received. The Nice Guys, 2016. Shane Black is one of the best action directors in Hollywood, even if, outside of Iron Man 3, his films haven't had huge budgets. There's a case to be made that his best movie is The Nice Guys, which is just as hilarious as it is action-packed. Unlike a lot of movies listed here, The Nice Guys doesn't have the most creative or brutal action sequences. However, it managed to perfectly blend those action bits with the comedy, making for one of the most fun films of the past decade. The Nice Guys follows a private eye and a tough enforcer who investigate the disappearance of a teen girl. Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe have remarkable chemistry, while Angourie Rice is hilarious as Gosling's daughter. Add in the likes of Margaret Qualley, Keith David, and a 91% Rotten Tomatoes rating, and this is a winner. Baby Driver, 2017. Considering he made films like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, it's impressive to think that Baby Driver might be the best work of Edgar Wright's career. The filmmaker had the idea for this movie in his head for decades and brought it to